Welcome to Venture Onward, everyone. Your home for the wild, the heroic, and the downright unpredictable corners of the DC Universe, the DC Studios movies, and all the chaos brewing behind the cape. Please subscribe, like, and click the notifications for more content. Tonight, the DCU is cracking open its vault of villains, and 9 heavy hitters are already marching into future chapters, all folded into James Gunn's evolving world of DC Comics, superhero comics, and the expanding realm fans have been begging to see brought to life with real stakes, real danger, and real weirdness. The DCU launched straight into action, no slow build, no origin story training wheels, and its first chapter is already reshaping the franchise. Peacemaker Season 2 cracked open the dimensional prison known as Salvation, ripped right from classic comic book history and reimagined under James Gunn's direction. Salvation isn't just a backdrop, it's a containment zone for some of the most dangerous metahumans the DCU plans to unleash. And that brings us right to the new wave of villains stepping onto the stage. Their arrival isn't teased, it's happening. Flag Sr., played by Frank Grillo, has been everywhere. Superman comics storylines, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos. But now his heroic facade has cracked wide open. The camera catches the shift in his eyes as he sends Peacemaker into the Salvation dimension, not because of duty, but revenge. Flag Sr. is now officially spiraling into villain territory, aligning with Lex Luthor himself. And with his confirmed role in Man of Tomorrow, he might be the first major recurring antagonist in the new DCU era, the Loki of the franchise, but with far more grit and fewer punchlines. Next up, Supergirl, arriving this summer. Borrowing heavily from Tom King's graphic novel, a treasured piece among best comic books, graphic novels, and independent comics readers, this movie brings in a fresh villain, Krem of the Yellow Hills. Matthias Schoenaerts takes on the role of this ruthless archer-swordsman hybrid whose comic debut was short but unforgettable. Krem's brutality sets the tone early, driving Supergirl into a galaxy-spanning hunt. Add Jason Momoa as Lobo, and the whole film leans into space opera chaos straight from the pages of comic book collections and DC Comics reviews. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor isn't finished, not by a long shot. After his chilling debut in Superman, the camera once again finds that razor-sharp glare in Man of Tomorrow, this time with a twist, his classic green warsuit, confirmed through promo art. This is the Lex fans know from decades of comic book analysis, DC comic book arcs, and DC Comics vs. Marvel debates. Brilliant, strategic, monstrous, and now potentially an anti-hero. The DCU is teeing him up for long-term relevance across DC Studios news and the evolving DCU movies slate. With Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, Lanterns opens the door to one of the most iconic villains in DC superheroes lore, Sinestro. Ulrich Thompson takes on the Yellow Ring Rebel in a storyline rumored to include Black Hand and Atrocitus. Fans of comic book characters and Justice League arcs know this rivalry well, and the series seems primed to explore it in depth. Mike Flanagan is taking Clayface into body horror territory, a major shift for the DCU and a bold pivot from the usual blockbuster formula. Inspired by Batman comics and the classic Feet of Clay episode, this film is dark, grotesque, and deeply character-driven. Tom Rhys-Harris brings a blended version of Matt Hagen and Basil Karlo to life, a shapeshifter stepping straight out of the eerie panels beloved by DC Comics adaptations fans. Skylar Gisando's Jimmy Olsen anchors DC Crime, a mockumentary dipping into the wilder corners of comic book history. Gorilla Grodd, yes, the telepathic gorilla, steps in as a major antagonist. The camera shows the hulking figure's shadow sweep across corridors and crime scenes as Jimmy tries to keep up. This Grodd echoes his role in Salvation Run, placing him in perfect position to tangle with Lex Luthor once again. Viola Davis returns as Amanda Waller, one of the most dangerous non-superpowered forces in all of DC Comics. Her spin-off series lingers in development limbo, but her presence remains critical to the DCU, especially after Peacemaker's explosive finale exposed her secrets. This is the Waller fans of comic book analysis love: cold, calculating, unstoppable. James Gunn made it clear, Deathstroke is coming. Whether it's his own film or a team-up with Bane, the DCU is preparing for one of the deadliest assassins in comic book characters, DC comic book arcs, and Teen Titans lore. The sword gleams, the mask drops into shadow, and the fanbase buzzes. Years of rumors finally lock into place. Brainiac is officially coming to Man of Tomorrow. From the abandoned Tim Burton project to scrap sequels, he has loomed over Superman comics, DC Comics history, and countless comic book reviews without ever making it to theaters. Until now, the camera paints him as an intergalactic intellect and AI collector of civilizations, bottling worlds like trophies. Kandor, Krypton, whatever he touches shrinks into captivity. His arrival marks a seismic shift in the DCU's future. No actor confirmed yet, but the name alone reshapes expectations across the entire Chapter 1 line. And that wraps our breakdown of the 9 villains set to stir chaos across the DCU. From cosmic hunters to telepathic gorillas, from shapeshifters to masterminds in warsuits, the next chapter of DC Studios movies is pulling deep from comic book collections, Marvel Comics rivalries, and the most iconic figures in graphic novels and superhero comics history. Thanks for tuning in to Venture Onward, and as always, please subscribe, like, and click the notifications so you never miss a twist in this expanding universe.